Wallahi, if you have a conflict with a brother, go up to him and say, Salam alaikum. It opens a lot. Wallahi, it does. You have a khilaf with someone, don't avoid him. Say, Salam alaikum. Muslims will discuss, hit each other, and brothers do that. Wife and a husband do that. When I want to go into a heated discussion with my wife, I say to her, look, I love you and this marriage is going to stay forever, inshallah ta'ala, as long as I live. So don't worry, but let's start. Don't say Assalamu alaikum and go. Al-musafaha. A non-Muslim, if he says to you, Assalamu alaikum, what do you say to him in that regard? Or I'm in a land, I want to give greetings, I like it, I meet people, Assalamu alaikum, Assalamu alaikum, Assalamu alaikum. And the Prophet said in the hadith, لا تبدأ السلام, do not start the greeting. لا تبدأ اليهود والنصارى بالسلام. Don't start the Christians and the Jews with the salams. But how do I determine that I can't start the salams with these people? In the UK, there's like a group. They know that the Muslims are not going to say wa alaikum salam. So they want to show other Muslims how evil these people are. They pretend that the religion of mercy. So come up to you and say, look what he says to me. He's going to say to me, wa alaikum, okay? He's going to say wa alaikum. So he goes to you and he goes to you, assalamu alaikum. And then you say, wa alaikum. Because you know why he says wa alaikum?
من يريد الله به خيرا يفقهه في الدين.
To start the salam, is it wajib? If I see you somewhere, shall I say, is it wajib for me to say assalamu alaikum? So the salams originally, to initiate it, the Jumhur al-Ulama, they believe it's what? Sunnah mu'akkada. Okay? But what about to respond? To respond, you have to say what? To say the response. وَإِذَا حُيِّيتُم بِتَحِيَّةٍ فَحَيُّوا بِأَحْسَنَ مِنْهَا أَوْ رُدُّوهَا. So you have to respond to the salams that the person gives you. The salams that a person gives you, do you say, when you're giving the person a salam, do you say assalamu alaikum, or can you say salamu alaikum bit-tankir? Do you have to say assalamu alaikum? Can I say salamu alaikum without putting an alif and lam in it? So you can say both, inshallah ta'ala. The Prophet said in the hadith, لا تدخلوا الجنة حتى تؤمنوا. The majority of the scholars, they say, you can say both. Both of them are fine. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said in the hadith, لا تدخلوا الجنة حتى تؤمنوا ولا تؤمنوا حتى تحابوا. ألا أدلكم على شيء إذا فعلتموه تحاببتم أفشوا السلام بينكم. So the Prophet told us the way to make love between us is to say what? Assalamu alaikum. I've seen it. Wallahi, if you have a conflict with a brother, go up to him and say, Assalamu alaikum. It opens a lot. Wallahi, it does. You have a khilaf with someone, don't avoid him. Say, Assalamu alaikum. Yunus al-Sadafi and Imam al-Shafi'i had a debate, heated debate, tough discussion. That happens between Muslims, right? Muslims will discuss, hit each other, and brothers do that. Wife and a husband do that. When I want to go into a heated discussion with my wife, I say to her, look, I love you and this marriage is going to stay forever, inshallah ta'ala, as long as I live. So don't worry, but let's start. So we all get, as humans, we're going to have hard discussions. We're going to say to each other things. And then after that, we shake hands and we leave it there. Sah? Salams, wallahi, if you get rid of it, it gets problematic. The minute you had that discussion, if you avoid each other, animosity starts to come. Haqiqah. So Imam al-Shafi'i had a debate with Yunus al-Sadafi. Debate. This Yunus took it a bit hard. Because in a debate, everyone's going to throw their dalu, right? Everyone's going to say tough things. So later, Shafi'i saw him in the market. And Yunus was avoiding Shafi'i. He's just, I want to give salams to him. Shafi'i saw him and he went up to him and he said, listen, can we not be brothers even if we differ on this issue? Can we not be brothers still, even that though we have differed and disagreed on this mas'ala? And then Yusuf al-Sadafi used to always say, ما رأيت أحدا أعقل من الشافعي. I never saw anyone more smarter than Imam al-Shafi'i. Sah? So if you have something towards somebody, say Salam alaikum when you see them. And even go as far as what? Shaking their hand. Don't say Salam alaikum and go al-musafaha. It really it makes the person feel relaxed a little bit. Do you understand, brothers? Try it, inshallah, with the people that you have conflicts with. Do you agree? The Ahlul Bidah have a different situation, a different dealing. But generally, Muslims, it's a right of a Muslim, generally speaking. Someone said, Assalamu alaikum. What do you say? You have to say what? Someone said, Assalamu alaikum. What do you have to say? Wa alaikum assalam. Okay, he said, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. What do you have to say? Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. What about if he says, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh? What do you have to say? Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. صح? If he says to me, Assalamu alaikum, can I say, Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh? Can I say and add extra? If he says, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, he says it. What do I have to say? Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Okay, but then I don't add anything to it. وَإِذَا حُيِّيتُم بِتَحِيَّةٍ فَحَيُّوا بِأَحْسَنَ مِنْهَا. Greet him with better. I want to do better. Is there any better I can do after wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh? Wa maghfiratuh. Oh. Yeah. So you're saying that أحسن منها is going to be smiling. So there's a narration which mentions ومغفرته. There's a narration لكنه ضعيف. It's what? It's ضعيف. It's not authentic. It's not صحيح. صح? A non-Muslim, if he says to you, Assalamu alaikum, what do you say to him in that regard? Yeah? So even if I see John, hi there John, how are you doing? Can I say, Assalamu alaikum John? Can I say that to him? The Prophet ﷺ said in the hadith, لا تبدأ اليهود ولا النصارى. Do not start the Jews and the Christians بالسلام. Don't say salam alaikum to them first. But this guy, John, he says to me, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And I heard it clearly. I heard what he said. What do I say? Do I say to him, alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh? But isn't the ayah not general? وَإِذَا حُيِّيتُم بِتَحِيَّةٍ فَحَيُّوا بِأَحْسَنَ مِنْهَا أَوْ رُدُّوهَا. Is the ayah not general? The ayah doesn't say only Muslims, does it? Does the ayah only say Muslims? It also can the non-Muslims in there, no? Huh? John went out of his way to say all that to me. So what do I ignore him and say, bye? So I say to him, wa alaykum, to him, right? But doesn't the hadith not show that they said to the Prophet, Assalamu alaikum? It was clear, the Prophet heard. They said, death be upon you. Sah? And he heard. So that's not talking about the man saying, Assalamu alaikum. Sah? John said, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Everything he said it properly. Right? Do I respond to him? Hey? I say, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I mean, I know if I don't hear it properly, I hear something, and then I can say, wa alaikum. That's clear. Your hadith throws that. But he said it properly. Yeah? Yeah? I have to respond. So from the ayah, you have to respond, sah? Or do you say, Hadak Allah, Allah guided you, and that could be the response. Or ruduha, respond to it. I responded by saying, Hadak Allah, may Allah guide you. Or do I have to respond with him? Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And how do we reconcile between Nabi Muhammad sending the letter to Hiraql Azim al-Rum by saying, As-salamu ala man ittaba al-huda? Did he not start a greeting? Anyways, to say wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, if he said to you assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, it's fine. And if there's a maslahah in it, a benefit is in it for you to say that to him, then say it. Are we all together? Because the rahmah that we want Allah for him is now al-Islam. Alaikum assalam, peace be upon you. Wa rahmatullah, Allah's mercy, which is Islam. Islam's a mercy. Sah? How do I know a person is a Muslim when I'm giving him salams or not? How do I determine? وَلَا تَقُولُوا لِمَنْ أَلْقَى إِلَيْكُمُ السَّلَامَ لَسْتَ مُؤْمِنًا. Because according to those who say wa alaikum, how do you determine when you're walking somewhere, someone says to you, Assalamu alaikum? What do you say? Wa alaikum. From where? Or I'm in a land, I want to give greetings, I like it, I meet people, Assalamu alaikum, Assalamu alaikum, Assalamu alaikum. And the Prophet said in the hadith, لا تبدأ السلام, do not start the greeting. لا تبدأ اليهود والنصارى بالسلام. Don't start the Christians and the Jews with the salams. But I want to, how do I determine that I can't start the salams with these people? This is all based on hukmul ghalib, what is apparent. So you look at the land. If the land's a Muslim country, if the land is not a Muslim country, okay, and there is no Islamic symbol on this person, yeah, there's no symbol. No lihya, no Islamic symbol is not there. I can't see any of that. He's not wearing maybe the Islamic clothing. All this doesn't mean he has to wear it, by the way. It's just symbols to tell me, to identify that he's a Muslim. And the land is not a land of Muslim. And he's got, now the clothing and how he looks would have told me he doesn't do any of that. Then in that situation, he loses the opportunity of me saying what? Assalamu alaikum. And that's why it's important, my brothers, that you use symbols that show you're a Muslim, so that your other Muslim brother gives you that salams. And he doesn't walk by you and say, Who should start the salams? The young or the old? The young should start it. What about the person who is walking and the one who's sitting? The one who's walking. And what about the one who is on the car and the one who's walking? Yeah? I'm driving and someone's walking on the pavement. Who should give salams to who? The one who's driving, the one who's on riding beasts. What about the little or the lot? The little give more to those who are more in number. Okay, all of that which we mentioned, if the young does not give greeting to the older, should the older go out of his way and try to give? Should he give it? Like the younger should come to the older and give him salams, right? But let's say he didn't do it. What should he do? Should you say, you know what? It is what it is, isn't it? What do I say? وَخَيْرُكُمُ الَّذِي بَدَأَ بِالسَّلَامِ. The best from amongst you is the one who starts with the greeting. So you take the opportunity, you don't let it go. So you start by saying Assalamu alaikum to him. Okay. In the UK, there's like a group who know, they know what? They know that the Muslims are not going to say wa alaikum assalam. So they want to show other Muslims how evil these people are. They pretend that the religion of mercy. So come up to you and say, look what he says to me. He's going to say to me, wa alaikum, okay? He's going to say wa alaikum. So he goes up, so he goes to you and he goes to you, assalamu alaikum. And then you say, wa alaikum. Because you know why he says wa alaikum? So there's a very racist group, they do that. So it happened to me one time, one of them came up to me and I didn't know, I really didn't know that was what was taking place. So he said to me on the road, Assalamu alaikum. I said, wa alaikum assalam. He looked at his friend and his friend said, oh, so I said more than what you told me. So he looked at me and said, why did you say wa alaikum assalam? And I said, it's because we were told, we were commanded to say that. And he goes, no, you're not. He failed in front of his friends, so now he's teaching me about Islam. So then he said to me, no, you shouldn't say that to me. You should say to me, wa alaykum. Ajib, right? So I said to him, no. I said, what we should say to you is what? So I got the verse for him. I showed it on my phone. I said, look, what does it say? And I said, does it say Muslim or non-Muslim? All that time, I'm not aware this guy's a racist. I'm not aware of any of that. I'm just doing sharah لِقَوْلِهِ تَعَالَى وَإِذَا حُيِّيتُمْ. As I'm talking and I'm explaining the verse to him, and I'm telling him that's the greeting we Muslims are instructed, his friends just realizing you just lied to me about Islam and the Muslims. And it's working in favor. So he looked at me, he said to me, so in one of the discussions, he said to me, no, you're wrong. You have to say to me, alaikum. So I said to him, you're right. There was a situation where he said, look, yes, you see, he tapped his friend, see, I'm not making this up. Then you tell us the story. So I said the story was a Jew man came and then said to the Prophet ﷺ, Assalamu alaikum, which is death be upon you. And so how is he going to say to him, may mercy be upon you? The guy didn't say mercy. So all the Prophet said to him was, may the same be to you. He didn't insult him. He didn't go into. He just said to him, may the same be for you. His friend was like, now it makes sense. This guy, now I realized what he was trying to do. It became clear to me. I didn't even mention the qawl that says you can say wa alaykum and all of that. I just kept that knowledge to myself. So sometimes saying wa alaykum could be a reason they want to prove that you're all together. Nah.